after that Bamberg season, man, I did like a real life self check. Like I woke up every morning, like I'm talking about like 6:15, 6:30, hitting my train. We out. Like, let's go, let's go. I changed my whole routine. I got a video on my phone. I'm running, and I just like I said to the camera, and I think I posted it on the Instagram. So I'm like, year 4 about to be crazy. Mark my words. And like I just stuck with it, man. Like that really hurt me to be cut from from an organization where you feel like you done gave your all, and like it just wasn't good enough for them. You know what I mean? So like that really like told me like, hey, bro, man, excuse my language, but man, fuck all that nice shit, man. It's time to really get down to the gritty. You know what I'm saying?
What's good, y'all? Welcome to the Role Player Podcast, presented to you by the good folks over at Swish Cultures in affiliation with Eurohoops.net. You can get this podcast anywhere you get your podcast. That's Spotify, Apple Music. And then be sure to go ahead and follow us on social media on YouTube, IG, TikTok, and Twitter with the handle at Role Player Media, or on the Swish Cultures YouTube or Instagram page. I am Jordan Taylor, 11-year pro EuroLeague vet. Still rolling with my dog, the multi-talented Stanford gentleman, retired 11-year pro and Swish Cultures co-founder, the one and only Anthony Goods, man. Goods, what's happening with you, man?
Yo, I just want to say for the record, I think my beard better than yours now. I think you got a receding beard line. I think you got a receding beard line. Like, I think my beard game is better than yours. Ever since I crossed over, I was Jalen Rose, you know what I'm saying, with the goatee and whatnot. After I shut him down, you know what I mean, I came over to the beard game, and I think I done caught you now. I don't know.
Nah, you got the extendo out this week just because I'm in London, but I'm still overseas. You know what I'm saying? The barber about to come through in a minute. Just catch me next week. See what I say. You got it this week. When you beat, man. Either one of us don't got none on our guest, man. Our guest this week, man, he got the dreads, man. He looking like an island boy, you know what I'm saying? He looking I'm saying, man, listen, let me introduce this guest, man. We got a special one with us, man. A FIBA All-Champions League second team in 2019, a Greek League All-Star this year, Belgian Cup winner in 2019. What else? MVC Player of the Year in 2017, MVC Defensive Player of the Year in 2017, and a 3-time MVC All Defensive Team Player of the Year, and then also a PBL Most Valuable Player in 2019. Let me not leave that out. That is the Belgian League PBL All Offensive Team 2019, 2-time PBL All Defensive Team 2018, 2019. He only 27. This man making a hell of a name for himself now, currently with Panathinaikos of the EuroLeague. We got the one and only Mr. Paris Lee. Paris, what's good with you, man? P. Lee, my boy.
What's going on, man? I appreciate y'all for having me on this show, man. For real. Thank you.
No doubt, man. No doubt. Before we get started, I'm gonna take this sweatshirt off because I had this on last week, so I don't want people. I don't want people to think I'll be wearing the same clothes without changing. So give me 1 second. You know what I'm saying?
Man, I like that sweater though, man. God is dope. I like that. I said I like that sweater, man. You could have kept it on. God is dope.
Clothes, fam.
For sure.
Hey, who y'all sponsor over there? That's the Kappa, the joint that be
Watch what you say. Watch what you say about the London Lions, man.
Watch
what you say about the London Lions, man. This is the first time I'm ever going to bat for my employer on the air. You know what I'm saying? Watch it. We getting it together. Don't worry about it.
I ain't mad. Y'all got a flea market sponsor though. Come on, there's enough shoe companies out there, bro. Man. There's enough companies out there.
Listen. You remember when Phil Knight started Nike and they used to call that joint Tiger? And you know what I'm saying? They had a whole bunch of stuff going on. Like he had some crazy sponsorships, but now look at it. Now look at Nike. Same type of energy, you know what I'm saying?
I ain't mad. I'm a believer. I'm a believer.
Hey.
Y'all so funny, man.
Hey, man. But P. Lee, let's jump right into it, man. Let's jump into our All Around the World segment, man. For those that don't know, you are from Maywood, Illinois. That's, can you call that Chicago? I don't.
If you from Chicago, it's in the Chicago area. Being from Chicago, like you can't say like Maywood is Chicago, but if you from like somewhere else, you would consider Maywood a Chicago area. So, Maywood is Maywood. to people in Illinois, but outside Illinois, Maywood would be Chicago. You know what I mean?
I feel you. So you from Chicago or Maywood?
No. See me, I was born and raised. Look, let me go and get my story right.
He
Cause
ain't gonna
look,
be able to go home. He ain't gonna be able to go
Tell it
home.
like it
look,
is.
let me go get my story right, man. Look. I get this a lot. You from the birth. All right, look. So I was born and raised in Chicago, and I moved to Maywood for middle school. You know what I'm saying? So I'm Chicago and Maywood. I got the best of
Yes,
both
sir.
worlds. You know what I mean? So it's a blessing.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right. Make sure you correct us on anything because it's about you, man. We make sure put some respect on Maywood on P. Lee. Make sure your story is right and told the right way, man. Because you're for real. You've been doing big things in a short time. But we want to start. You are Cameroonian as well, right? So we kind of want to. You have that passport. We want to talk about.
Yeah.
Obviously, the passport hasn't had much effect on your career so far, has it? Like you played in Belgium and in Greece, so not quite on your career yet, right?
No, I just received it in April. You know, Monaco allowed me to go get the passport, and it hasn't I hadn't had any effect on it yet because I came to Greece, so it doesn't even count for the Greek league or nothing.
So your goal, I'm assuming, is to play for the Cameroonian national team. Then,
I played with them. I played with them in the window in what was that, in August in Tunisia.
okay,
We had 3 games, and it was a dope experience, man. It was the basketball, the like that league basketball is different,
yeah,
different. Like it's like rugby out there, man. I'm telling you, bro. They don't call no fouls, and man, it definitely prepared me for the season, though, man. Like them 3 games, it showed me like, man, it got real physical out there for real.
man.
So I was grateful
Man,
for
so
that.
talk about then. You talk about your experience, how it prepared you for the season. You know, Nigeria is honestly.
Yeah,
We could talk about Nigeria as a world superpower in basketball if they put all the
yeah,
Nigerians on the floor. Like guys, if you had a guy like Bam Adebayo, Victor Oladipo, you have a guy like Mie Oni who's here in
yeah.
Bro, I
London.
think they got like 20 NBA players with Nigerian heritage
Yeah,
in the league right
yeah,
now.
yeah.
Man,
It's like
my
20.
boy was just my boy Emma. He's he just went to Monaco now. He was with the Kings for a little bit
Yeah,
in the beginning of the year, but he's Nigerian too.
yeah.
They everywhere, bro.
I mean, and we leaving out the biggest one, which is Giannis, if he so chose to play for the Nigerian national team. Um,
That's real.
so yeah, so I guess just talk a little bit more about how African basketball is growing, and then lead that into I guess the impact that playing in FIBA for Cameroon could have on your career.
Man, so honestly, before I even got the passport, I wasn't like really too familiar with like the World Cup, the qualification, all that stuff. Like I didn't know that it was all tied into like even they're gonna play against like the teams that qualified gonna play against. Man, I didn't know it was all like what I
Mm-hmm.
mean. So when I experienced that, man, we played against let's see, we played against Egypt, we played against Senegal, and I think we played against the Congo. Uh, they got Kaminga was on their team for the guy that plays
Yeah,
for the
Yep.
Warriors. We
yeah.
played against them. We went 1-2, but it was a dope experience. And as you said, it's definitely growing, man. There's so many EuroLeague players that went back to play. Like Big Tavares, he played for his team. We got a couple players that was just like playing for their national team. So it was a good experience to just see all of the talent, man. It's talent, not just physical. Like they can play. You know what I mean? So got to give respect to them. As you said, I think my hardest team that we played against was probably Egypt.
Really.
I think Egypt got us good. Yeah, Egypt got us good, and Senegal they got us good too. But it's definitely a different style of basketball over there, man. So I'm curious to see what those teams do when it's got the same rules and stuff like that. You know what I mean? So it's gonna be a good experience.
Yeah, it seems like they're starting to like put some trying to institutionalize, basketball in Africa. They got NBA Africa
Yeah,
out there. They got the Global
that's
Academy.
dope.
And I went
Yeah,
to like a Basketball Without Borders event, and it was crazy to see. You see some of these guys like the bodies, like I mean, these kids are like young, but they 6'9". They built like they ready to play pro ball. And
Yeah,
just talking to some of the people that was running the event, they just like, man, if you'd have seen these kids like 4 years ago, they were just throwing Hail Mary passes down the court. And like now they're actually, getting into sets and
yeah,
things of that nature. They said like within the next 5 years, like Africa's about to blow up in regards to, because you already got the athletes and you
yeah.
got the athleticism and the talent. It's just more
That's
so
real.
adding a little structure to it. So I think we're gonna be looking at basketball in Africa completely differently in the next 5 to 10 years.
Nah, that's real, man. I can see that, man. Especially like you said, they got the athletes. Now you just got to put the structure together, man. And they can do some special things over there, man. For
Man,
real.
we talked about Nigeria, but Cameroon obviously has Joel Embiid, who could play for the Cameroonian national team, right? Like, what y'all think?
He 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 went over to France, man. He got the France nationals. He got the France
I know
passport.
he chose
Right.
France, but it's like similar to Giannis, right? Like, if he
Yeah.
so chose, he could go play in Cameroon, right?
Right.
So it's like, what do you think having guys like, for both of y'all, having guys like Giannis and Joel Embiid come to Nigeria, come to Cameroon, what would that do for the paradigm of European basketball, but just the basketball world in general? Like, could African basketball, I guess, become secondary to U.S. basketball, or even maybe is that when you, because you said 5 to 10 years away? Is that something that's possible? Because there's so many guys now in the States with everybody obviously has African heritage in the States, but who can actually trace it?
Yeah.
So is it y'all think
Yeah.
that's a possibility?
I mean, you kind of can see it. Like you got players in the NBA, like for example, Pascal. He's Cameroonian as
Man,
well. You know what I mean? Like these players are like doing great things in the NBA. So it's like it's just gonna keep could just keep evolving. I feel like it's just gonna just keep getting better and better.
And I think too, if you had a Nigerian team full of their top talented players, I think they'd be competing, within the top five in the world.
oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So,
Yeah.
it's just more so like
Sheesh.
it's just more so Giannis just being like, you know what, I'm gonna go hold it down. You know what I mean? It's like Giannis got to turn into Martin Luther King, man, and circle everybody up, get them all on one page. But like for real though, I feel like it'll make a statement. It'll bring a lot more attention, and I think money and everything to that particular federation, man. I think it would move volumes. I think if they did that, but you're gonna play with who you're gonna play with. But
Man, they switching will be elite. Oh
man,
my
all three
goodness.
of them, you take all three of them on top of everybody else.
Switching defense elite. They locking everybody up, bro. I'm telling you,
It's over.
that'll be crazy. Yeah, you're right.
Nigeria would have
Yeah.
NBA players getting cut from their roster, but
Oh,
would
for sure,
they
for
would
sure.
they so obviously, Peely, you being from Maywood or from the States, do you think that would resonate within the country to have Americans with that heritage doing well at places like the Olympics? You know what I'm saying? Like, would that be something that the country would get behind in terms of like the people?
I think so, man. Cause like it's like being over there, they cherish like their country. Like, I got a good friend that plays for South Sudan, and
Hmm.
they just qualified, and like I just seen like how everybody they had a big parade, and they just want when we put the jersey on, we playing for our country. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? So I definitely think they're gonna get, but they'll be behind it like big time, and man, just to see how like they was cherishing that like their players, and when they got off the plane and they was walking. It was a man, bro. Like it's a different type of celebration, man. It was dope just even seeing that, man. You know what I mean? So yeah, I definitely think they'll get behind that for sure.
Shoot, we over here talking. That's something I want to see now. I think we gotta, you know what I'm saying? Good. You an ambassador to the World Basketball Committee, man. So you need to start making some phone calls, man. You all over the place.
Malcolm,
I got you.
Malcolm X got shot trying to lead a revolution. I take Giannis off of Greece. I ain't gonna make it out of Europe.
They all got shot, man. Newsflash, they all got shot.
Hey, that's real.
Malcolm Martin, they all did, man. So you might as well die for something, man. You know what I'm saying?
Let me hit the streets one more time.
Hey, man, well, P. Lee, man, let's
y'all boy funny, man.
P. Lee, man, let's talk about more your career in Europe solely, man. Obviously, started out in Antwerp, right? And talk about that, because that's like you went from Antwerp, the Antwerp Giants, to Panathinaikos in 5 years. That's, for those that are listening, those that don't know, like that's a major jump in Europe, and you got to be doing big things. So talk about, like, what was your mindset? We've talked about at length on the show that small school guys or mid-major school guys do better in Europe, because I think they come over with a better mindset. I don't know if it's more humility or a hunger or whatever it is, but just talk about what your mindset was going into Antwerp and how that's parlayed into playing in the EuroLeague the past 2 years, in just 4 short years.
Man, I'm gonna be real with you, man. I coming out, like, with the accolades, I had Defensive Player of the Year, Player of the Year. Obviously, I thought that I was gonna get like some serious NBA looks because I had NBA teams coming to watch me play and stuff like that. And I'm not the type of person that blame, like, oh, it's his fault, or it's his fault. Why? You know what I'm saying? I'm not that type of person, but I do feel like I had two different representations. I should have went with one, but the other one offered me some signing money, like my agency at that time. So I went I went that route instead of the route I was supposed to go. I feel like every player that made that mistake coming out when it came down to picking agencies. So bam, when I first got to Antwerp, like, I was already like in my feelings, because it's like players that I done played against. They getting a shot. I didn't get a real shot. I didn't play summer league my first year. Like, I was just really like, my head was in the cloud. Like, I hit reality. Like, damn, I'm really not gonna be in the NBA. I didn't even get a good look for real. So I came over to Antwerp, not really knowing what to expect. Mindset was trying to get back home. Whatever I gotta do, I gotta get back home. And that was the worst match that I could have had, if we being honest, because I wasn't thinking about. My mind was not in Europe. You know what I'm saying? And honestly, once my mind started to like realize, like, you know what, bro, you're here. You got to make the best of whatever situation you in. That's when I started seeing things start shaking for me. You know what I mean? So my first year in Antwerp, it was good enough for them to like want me to like extend the contract, but I knew I had more in the tank. So that's when we had qualified for Champions League my second year. That's when I told you I played against Tyrese Rice. I was on the team. Like, Antwerp budget isn't much compared to the Ikes, the Bambergs, all these Spanish. Our highest paid player probably was getting like nine a month. You know what I mean? Like, just being real. But we made it to the Final Four that year, and they opened up doors for like players like Jayshawn Tate. He's with the Rockets right now. Vic. Vic was in a great situation. I got Ismail Bako.
I play with Ishmael.
I got players I got players like all over, like around, just doing great things now. But you know what I mean? But we put that group together, and we made it to the Final Four. We came up short, but that was probably one of my most successful years as a pro. Then I went to Bamberg. To be honest, I really wasn't prepared. If we being real, I wasn't prepared that was the first time I felt pressure. Let's say, I went with my coach from Antwerp, and at the time we was kind of like butting heads. We wasn't seeing eye to eye at Bamberg, but he was dealing with stuff with the president, all that. He was dealing. It was a lot of stuff that was going on in behind closed doors that I didn't know about. And I feel like that that was my partner. So I feel like me and him, we didn't handle that good enough. So we both, to be honest, I had a 2-year deal with Bamberg. They cut my contract, and that really right there turned me up. It turned me up because it was like, all right, y'all really just woke me up. Like, I had a 2nd-year contract. I'm gonna be real with y'all. My buyout was 150. Like, just being real. They wanted me to leave so bad. Like, go ahead, get out of here. So that turned me up. So, I went to Orléans in France. It was I think they Pro B right. Yeah, they Pro B right now, but they were like a mid to like low level team in France. And I came there with Darius Johnson, Odom, my guy Shima Monike. We went there. We did some good things. We made it to the playoffs. Had a couple good games against Monaco. Really, really good games against Monaco. And bam, I had a really good game against Monaco, and then I think one more good game against another Euro Cup team, Levallois.
Yep.
Um, and then man, my agent hit me like, man, Monaco just offered. And like once I got that, like that, they had just qualified for EuroLeague, and like I really like just took a moment, like, damn, it finally happened. You know what I mean? Like it finally happened. Like this hard work is starting to show. It started to pay off. And I ended up signing with Monaco after the year when I was in Orleans. So, last year when I was in Monaco, I was able to play with guys like Mike James. I'm still with D Bake here. Just some talented guys. Like this is my first time being around players that's actually been in the NBA, that's played at the highest level of basketball. And I was just like a sponge, just trying to like absorb everything from everybody. Like I done talked to Mike about some stuff, D-Bake, Dante Hall, even Leo Westermont. Like everybody that I came across, I was just trying to pick their brain about any little bit, And Monaco, my role, Monaco. I came in 3-and-D guy, make the right reads, give Mike a break, give Mike a rest. I feel like that was a good role for me at that time, And now at Pana, with everything that's going on, I'm just happy for the opportunity that I'm getting to play. I'm playing 25 plus minutes. We're not winning the most games, but I'm able to showcase my abilities to Pana and other teams, to let them know like I can do a little more than play defense. You know what I mean? So I'm just blessed, man. I'm happy. I wouldn't have wanted my route to go no other way, man, because with this, when you go that long route, you really appreciate it more, and I'm very appreciative of everything, man, for real. And yeah, that's that's my story.
Yeah, nah, it's funny, man. Like I remember watching the games last year in Monaco, and it was almost like I feel like you were like people always say like the X factor, but like I felt like you were like a game changer. Like when you came in the game, like and it was on the defensive end, turning defense to offense. Like there were so
Yeah,
many games, especially towards the end of that season, man. It's like as soon as you check in, like you getting the steal, like you pushing the tempo, knocking down the
yeah,
shot. You know what I'm saying? And I think that what Monaco did last year was amazing. You know what I mean? And I
yeah,
think that everybody played a specific role in that, but. I think that your contribution to that team, and I'm not just saying that just because you're on there, but your contribution to that team, man, was huge for their success because you in EuroLeague, you're not about to get that deep in the playoffs just with your stars or whoever's like starting the game. Like you know what I mean? I
yeah,
think that the teams that end up going far are deep.
yeah,
Deep. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
So it was dope to see you actually coming in there changing the game and stuff like that.
and I
I,
appreciate
I
that,
don't
man,
I
for
don't think
real.
a lot of people really realize like so many times I think with overseas basketball people just look at the numbers and like
Yeah,
you can see a
yeah,
guy that scored 10 points like this dude's a murderer like you know what I'm saying
yeah,
like you can see a guy that maybe has to, and Tyrese Rice was talking about it, like just has to pick up a specific role because of the team that he's on, you know what I mean?
exactly,
And
exactly, yeah,
but yeah, like I think you're definitely, especially on the defensive side, and with the ability to shoot the ball and play make and whatnot, and that's why you're able to transition to Panda. But I just wanted to make sure that at least listeners and people watching really understand what you've done, and to only do that, like Jordan said, to only do that in 5 years. That's fucking crazy. You know what I mean?
man, bro. I
It ain't
appreciate that,
easy.
man,
It
for
ain't
real.
easy, bro. It ain't easy.
I
But I got a
appreciate that,
question
man.
though, like,
Yeah, yeah,
cause I feel like at every point in probably all of our careers, we realize like, oh, this shit is a business. Like you got that
yeah,
wake up call, like you said, like after they cut your contract, like, oh, this
yeah,
about to turn me
man.
up. So like, what did you do differently heading into that next season when you went to Orleans? Like, what changed for you?
Oh, my mindset, man. Like I'm still the same. Like I come in, I speak to everybody. Hey, how you doing? I keep it everything. I'm like when I come in, it's like I'm like an energy bug. Like I want everybody around me to be happy. Even if you're having a bad day, my job is gonna make sure your day is not bad no more, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But I found myself like really, really putting everybody before me when I was at Bamberg. Like as far as like how I just said, I'll make sure now I'm making sure I'm good first. You know what I'm saying? I gotta make sure my mental is good first. So after that Bamberg season, man, I did like a real life self check. Like I woke up every morning, like I'm talking about like 6:15, 6:30 hitting my train. We out. Let's go. Let's go. You know, I changed my whole routine. Like that summer was strictly business. And I was, man, I got a video on my phone. I send it to JT later. I got a video on my phone. I'm running, and I just like I said to the camera, and I think I posted it on the Instagram. So I'm like, year 4 about to be crazy. Mark my words. And like I just stuck with it, man. Like that really hurt me to be cut from from an organization where you feel like you done gave your all, and like it just wasn't good enough for them. You know what I mean? So like that really like told me like, hey, bro, man, excuse my language, but man, fuck all that nice shit, man. It's time to really get down to the gritty. You know what I'm saying? So that turned me up, and it just made me not so sensitive no more. Like like I used to be sensitive, all that stuff. Like nah, it's straight business from here on out. You know what I mean? So it really changed my mindset and it just made me go harder, man. Like I was geeked. I was sad, but I was geeked at the same time because I just know like I'm the type of person, and I don't know why I'm like this, but when I get pissed off, it take me on another level, and they piss me off. Like if I was to ever play against Bamberg again, oh man. But nah, that definitely turned me up. Now I'm really grateful that happened though, man, because ain't no telling if they didn't cut me. You know, ain't no telling if I'd be EuroLeague right now. You know, so everything happened for a reason.
Hey, you said that's interesting, and I want to tie this all together. But you talked about
Yeah,
you getting to showcase things you could do other than defense right now at Pana.
yeah,
And
yeah.
I think most basketball players, I think you kind of realize this week, like you're not always going to be the best player on your team or whatever it is,
Hmm.
but there comes a crossroad, I think, where it's like you kind of figure out a way to thrive. So I guess my question would be is like how delicate is the balance between being that standout, defensive X factor that you are, and also trying to show your offensive game, because I think sometimes there's such things as doing too much and there's such things as not doing enough,
Yeah,
right? So I guess just talk about
yeah.
like how important it is for you to grow your offensive game while not losing your defensive
Mm.
the identity that you have as a defender, I guess, if that makes sense.
Man, that's a great question, man, to be honest. But I'm gonna knock on wood, but as long as like I'm healthy and I'm like, I'm good to go, my main thing is gonna be defense. Like people don't know, but that defense is what really like I get a stop, man, I'm ready to shoot my next shot.
Yeah.
Now, if I see that next shot go in, oh, it might be hell for the other team. You know what I'm saying? Because if I see that first shot go in after I just got to
Hmm.
stop, you know what I mean? Like it's already like a confidence boosting. Like most good coaches, they let their good defenders kind of do what they want on offense. Like I'm not a type of person that's gonna come down and just jack up 3, 4 threes in a row. You
Right.
know, I'm not. That's not my
Right.
game. But just knowing like that, I just locked this man up 2, 3 times in a row. I'm definitely about to go in and shoot this man. The coach gonna be behind me just because he know how hard I'm playing. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? And that's exactly how my mindset is. Like I don't care about offense. Like I want to make sure I get a stop before I can even put my foot on the gas on offense. Like my main goal is to get my stops so I can feel good about myself, and then I'm gonna get rolling on offense. Like that's always me. Like I can make a three. That's cool. I can make my first three, but like for me to like get lost into the game, I gotta get a stop. Like I got
Nah.
to. Like I gotta get a deflection. I gotta get a strip something. Like I gotta be active some way. And then that's when you know like I'm really in
Hey,
the game.
that's dope. You answered that question that way. I wasn't even expecting you to answer the question that way, because you really, for the listeners, that's good. I think for young players, kids, like you lead in with what you good at as you expand. Like, you know what I'm saying, which I think is easy to. I don't even know if you realize how you phrasing that, but I think that's such an important thing for basketball players to learn, is lead with what you good at, like, and then expand.
Yeah.
LeBron always says, like, keep the main thing the main thing. And he's kind of talking, he refers to it in the context of basketball before he moves into other business aspects and yada, yada, yada. But, keep
That's
the
real.
main thing. Like defense is your thing, and then that gives you confidence and leeway, to expand and
For
get into
sure.
whatever else it is. So that's real. That's a hell of an answer, man.
Man, how many coaches y'all done played for and y'all had like a defensive player and sometimes he'd take a questionable shot, but it's just okay because y'all know how hard
Mm-hmm.
he played. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's like you can't even get mad at him. Like you gonna be like, all right, next play, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's why I love being a defender, man. For real.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, nah, but I think too though, like I don't know. I think it's just I think you're more than a defender. Like if you look, especially I think it was because I used to follow you guys a lot back in Orleans with DJO and all them.
Yeah,
But I mean, you averaged like seven assists or something that season. Um,
yeah.
so I think that you could get labeled as just a defender, but I mean, you don't get to the EuroLeague level by doing just one thing. You know what I'm saying? As an
That's
American,
real.
you know what I mean? You're not
Nah,
you're
that's
not
real.
getting 25 minutes a game just doing one thing. Like
But I
as an
promise you
American.
that year, you can I promise you, ask DJO that year, he'd tell you every game I was strapping up. Like that was
Yeah,
the main thing. And my coach, he put now that coach, that was probably that coach is probably the coach that let me play the freest since I've been in Europe. He literally brought me in his office. He was like, "Are you my point guard?" I'm like, "Yeah." And he picked up his keys. He said, "Here you go," and just gave me his keys. He said, "From here on out, I need you to control everything." And like after we had that talk, like my defense went on another level, my scoring and my like it's just I'm a comp like I don't know I'm a like I got the coach behind me and my defense, bro. I could be a different type of player, man. Like, but
Hey,
I just do what I got to do, man.
Hey, to that point, I think that almost like Good said, it's not a lot of Americans getting to EuroLeague by just doing one thing, but that
Yeah,
to even put it in more perspective of what you're doing and how rare it is. I don't think it's a lot of Americans that get to EuroLeague leading with defense like that. Like I can't think of many. So like that just I say that to kind of like I said put in perspective of what you're really doing on the defensive end, and you should be proud. Like I think a guy, and this is before my time a little bit, but a guy that comes to mind for me is like Deron Perkins, and something I don't even know if you know who that is. He's coaching in Maccabi now, and yeah, yeah. We met him together.
that's how.
We was with him
That,
together. Yeah, we was with him
yeah,
together in Athens.
that's how he used to
Man,
play.
he's locked up,
he's a
straps.
strap.
Oh, I gotta go look him up now.
Yeah,
Look, yeah,
yeah.
that's tough.
And
Yeah,
that's literally to me. I can't maybe. Can you think of anybody else good? Like your a Rolodex, your almanac is a little bit more extensive than mine, but
I mean, I felt like everybody, especially like back in the day, I felt like a lot more guys were coming in, scoring the ball, and then they would reduce your role. You know what I'm saying? And I think like
yeah,
now they're starting to get a little more like specialists. Everybody's starting to get specialists. A little bit more.
yeah,
But yeah, not anybody that I can think off the top of my head, man. But I mean, but yeah, even going back to somebody like Perkins and Perrier Henry's a good defender.
yeah,
There's been some out there that have really like stick out. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
There's not a lot that stick out, but there's a lot. There's been a few defenders that really stick out, man. So I mean, I don't think anything's wrong with it because there's always a need for it. As long as there's good guards, you're gonna need good defenders. You know what I'm
for
saying?
sure. Hey, I
And
got my hands full this week.
but
Ooh, man,
but
ain't no nice
yeah,
off.
ain't no nice up. But
hey, none.
you got the tricks to the trade with that one, man. Y'all going to Monaco tomorrow. I was gonna say before we move on to that though, it's like I think again to keep giving you props, man. It's like I think part of the reason that is, and good, you could correct me if I'm wrong, is like you can find a Serbian or you can find a French dude who's gonna just go be a pest, right? Like and play hard and just do that. So for an American to really be like doing like you really locking some shit up. You know what I'm saying? To get back. Like just
Man,
yeah,
appreciate
just
that,
to put
man.
it in perspective, man. But yo, y'all got Monaco this week, so it's a good time to have you on the air. This will air after the game, I believe. But talk about man your transition from Monaco to Pana. It's a little bit different in terms of I guess the prestige of the club. Panathinaikos is
Yeah,
biggest EuroLeague team, one of the biggest EuroLeague teams ever. Just talk about the transition
yep.
to that on the fan side, on the basketball side.
Man, I'm gonna be real with you, man. If I was to come to a team like Pana, my first EuroLeague debut, it's like my first season, I don't think I would have lasted, bro. I'm gonna be real. It's like in Monaco, it kind of progressed. Like I started slow and I started building up. You know what I'm saying? I feel like at Pana, like you almost got to come here and be like, let's go. You know, you got to be ready off bat. You know, and I feel like Monaco, they gave me a chance to grow. You know what I'm saying? They gave me a chance to grow. The fans were calm. It was one of those seasons where we just want to compete, we just want to do good. So that was a great first year for me because it was no expectation. You know what I mean? So I was able to play in a hostile crowd like at Red Star, and if we lose, it won't be a problem. Or Maccabi, we lose, it won't be a problem. Whereas I come to Penna, every game you pretty much gotta win, or you're gonna be this or that. You know what I'm saying? So it's like the transition in here, like my mental here, it definitely. This is I don't know if y'all ever heard this, but they say like if you could play like in places like here, Olympiacos, Turkey, you could play anywhere. I feel like after this year, after playing in Penna, I feel like I could play anywhere. Like I feel like there's not one place that I can't play, just because of everything that goes on with like as far as like the fan base and just everything. Like I just feel like I could play anywhere.
Boy, on his
Like
new he on
just
his
being
New York
real.
shit talking about I can make you know what I'm saying talking about you can make it in Pana, you can make it. He's a concrete jungle of the EuroLeague, boy.
Bro. I'm serious, man. Like I'm for real. If you could play in Penna, bro, ask anybody
I
that
hear you.
played for Penna. If you could play here, man, I promise you, I feel like you could play anywhere, man. Everywhere else gonna be like it's gonna be
I,
a
I
breeze. That's just
I
my
remember
opinion.
seeing you in Athens and seeing how excited you was to be there, but also being, like kind of understanding what you was getting yourself into just with the interactions on Twitter and those fans are
Yeah,
some of the best fans not only in Europe, not only in basketball, but in the world. And that's not to
man.
go that shouldn't be understated.
Oh man, I love like even though we got some of them bandwagon fans,
Yeah.
I do love the fans here, man. They show
Mhm.
love, man. Like if you playing like they know I play with a lot of passion, I play with grit. So they love that. Even though it's not going how they wanted to in the EuroLeague, they still love it. They love if you play hard. Like if you lose, okay. But as long as you playing like you care, like they gonna love you forever, man. They love me here and I love it. Like it's love.
Yeah, definitely.
It's love for sure.
Definitely. And you wanted to shout out as a tragedy in Greece, man. So we got to show love to the folks over there. I'll let you speak on that.
Oh yeah, man. I just wanna just send my condolences to the the families that were affected by the train wreck that happened in Greece a couple days back, and just still praying for everybody, and just praying for better days, man.
No doubt, man. We praying for everybody involved in that. In Greece, man, we all know we all been to Athens. Greece Greek culture is a proud culture, man. Our assistant GM here,
Definitely,
Yasin
definitely,
Tranos, is Greek. I got a Greek teammate, Costa Koufis, and they're a stubborn people, but a proud people, hard working, man. So Athens, one of my favorite cities, one of the
definitely.
best cities in the world, man. So definitely shout them folks out. Shout out the fans of Pana, man. But we
Sure.
gonna move in.
Shout out them Panther
Shout out
fans, man. Shout out
to
them
no
Panther
doubt.
fans, man.
No doubt,
Yeah.
no doubt. We're gonna move inside the L, man. That's our segment. We kind of messed the league with Europe a little bit. So for you, because we've been talking about we've been talking about defensive guards, yourself being
Yeah.
elite at that. Who y'all think are some of the best defensive guards in the NBA right now? Is there anybody you like watching the NBA that you enjoy watching on the defensive side and kind of like model or steal some tricks of the trades from?
Honest, I'm gonna be real, man. I hate to say this. I really don't watch the NBA
Nah,
that
that's
much
that's
no more,
real.
bro. Um, I love the way. Now I'm gonna name some players that I used to like watch and love how they used to defend, but I love the way how Tony Allen used to defend. Tony Allen, you could say Pat Bev. Pat Bev from
Yeah,
Chicago. Shout out
both
Pat
of them.
Bev. He be clamping stuff. Man, it's just it ain't too many players like it was that used to really like just sit down and strap. Like I'm about to sit down and you're not scoring on me and let you know about it. You know what I mean? Like everybody in the NBA a bucket. Like and ain't nothing wrong with that. But I love the way Tony Allen used to play defense, man, and he used to get it done. He used to get it done. Tony Allen, like I said, Patrick Beverly. Uh, I can't think of too many other. How y'all feel about Terrence Mann defense? Solid.
Ooh, you know what? I don't know. I don't know how much I can speak on. I know he's a solid defender, but him being at OKC, I probably don't get to. He's still in OKC, right?
No, he
Yeah,
was the
Oh,
Clippers.
Terrence
He
Mann.
was the
I'm
he the
Clippers.
thinking of
Clippers
who I'm
now.
thinking of. Who's buddy in OKC?
You talking about Shea?
Huh?
Shea?
No. I don't even know if he's there.
You talking about you talking about
You talking about
what's his name?
Terrence
Di.
Mann? You talking about Trayshawn
Yeah,
Man?
yeah,
Trayshawn
yeah,
Man?
yeah. I'm tripping.
Trayshawn Man. Yeah,
Terrence
Oh,
yeah,
Mann.
yeah. He talking.
Terrence Mann's trap. I mean, for me right now, the gold standard is obviously Marcus Smart and Drew Holiday. Like those are the
oh, how did I forget
yeah, those are the
Drew?
gold
Yeah,
standards.
Oh, I'm
Yeah,
tripping. My bad.
those
Oh, yeah, Drew
yeah.
be
yeah,
strapping. Drew be
those are
strapping.
definitely the gold standards. And then actually, Jaden McDaniel, in Minnesota is tough, man. He's a problem, but I don't know if I would call him a
Okay.
guard. He's not a guard, but Anthony Edwards is another dude who, I mean, he's putting it in. He might be. I think Anthony Edwards is gonna be. I think he could be a top 5, maybe the best player in the league at one point.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't doubt it. I don't
He
doubt
be
it.
Anthony
strapping
Edwards
up.
be strapping up. I think he got
Yeah.
best player. He got that
Whoa.
Kawhi like profile. I don't want to reach and get out of pocket, but he got that Kawhi profile in terms of
Hey,
two way.
but bro, like I remember I was filming a workout of his. I think it might have been after his first or second year in the league, Anthony Edwards, and he was doing something simple. It might have been like crossover something into like a pull up, to like a mid range pull up, and he didn't like his footwork, and he literally did the same move. I'm talking about like for the next 10 minutes until he got it right, and like I was amazed that like I think he was like 20 years old at the time. I'm like, yo, for a 20-year-old kid to have like this desire to get the little things perfect. You know what I'm saying? He was still making shots, but it was just like, nah, it don't feel right. It don't feel right. And
Yeah.
he just kept repping it, kept repping it, kept repping it.
Dang.
And I was just like, yo, if he's paying that much attention to something so small at 20 years old, I'm like, he's gonna be a monster because he got the athletic ability already.
Bro,
Yeah.
I
That's tough.
remember watching. I think it was one of his first preseason games against the Grizzlies, and he was defensively like he did something crazy. Like he was on the weak side, but was facing out of bounds. Like had his back to the ball and his face to the baseline. And I was like, "Yo, what's like what is going on?" But like within a month or two, you could see how he was rotating on to your point goods. How he was rotating on defense and just the things that he picked up. Very, very quickly. So, yeah, no, that's interesting to
Nah,
hear you
that's
say that about the workout for real.
Yo, y'all think? Dylan Brooks has been in he's been in the media a lot lately. He's been in media a lot lately. Nah, I was gonna say, do you think he's why do you think he's trying to like adopt this let's just say this bad guy persona in the NBA right now with everything
I
that
think
he's been going on?
I'm gonna be real with you. A lot of players, a lot of people don't like it. But I like it. Get under his skin, make him mad. Like sometimes it be a little bit extreme, but hey, by any means necessary. I ain't saying go out there and hurt nobody.
Mm-hmm.
But like if you can get under somebody's skin and make them wanna rumble, do it.
Hey,
I
hey,
love that. I
hey, we
love
we
that.
just had a whole conversation about when you play hard and then you take a shot, you can't even be mad. Dylan Brooks is the one person on this planet who play hard as hell on defense, and the bullshit he be shooting, I'ma still be mad. Like I'm gonna be like, man, what the fuck are you doing? Like, yo, like you're not
Nah,
supposed to be
bro.
doing that. But yeah, I'm glad you brought that up. But I will say, I like from an
Hey.
outside perspective looking in, like, yeah, Dylan Brooks is a dude you do want on your team on the
Mm-hmm.
defensive end because he's gonna guard the point. He's gonna guard Ja, obviously Ja's teammate, but he'll guard the Ja. He'll guard Luca. He's gonna guard Karl Anthony Towns. He'll guard Anthony Davis. Like he's guarding damn near 1 through 5, and he big as hell. So
Yeah.
let me not disrespect that man. Make jokes and all that, but let me not entirely disrespect him. He's someone you want on your team.
But I feel like
for sure.
I think with the whole media surge and just him getting into altercations and whatnot, I think he's kind of leaning into this whole persona that he's starting to get as kind of like this this Draymond type of guy getting under people's skin, and I think we're going to see a lot more of it in the years to come. Because I mean, if you think about it, as a role player, especially somebody that's like doing the dirty work, you don't really get recognition until that altercation comes. And like now, it's like, all right, I'm gonna ride this out.
Let me find this smoke.
You know what I'm saying?
I like
Why
it.
not?
I like it.
That's real.
But I just hope when it's time for that real smoke, I just hope he ready. That's all I'm gonna say. But I love that. I listen. He was on my team. I'll be behind him 1,000%. Yeah, on that. Get on that, D. Yeah, D. Book, we right here with you.
We go.
Hey, feel
me? Shout out my guy Ty with Ja out though. It might be scary for Memphis. Hopefully Tyus can run the show. I know he can. That's my dog. So shout out Tyus Jones and hopefully he keep them afloat while Ja is away.
Pure point. I love his game.
This is a side note, but I always show Tyus love. One thing about he's similar in the sense to you, where it's like what he does is so rare. Like he's not super athletic. He's not the best shooter. He's not the best at anything, but he do not make mistakes. And he's elite at doing all the little things, which is like, I don't know how many guys you can say that about. But that's that's another story for another day.
Hey, yo, Paris, I got
you like Monty Morris in a way.
Oh, see, and Monty too, but I think I'm taking Tyus over Monty. Monty, yeah. Yeah, it's tough. It's tough, but I'm taking Tyus over Monty. Monte probably a better scorer. He probably a better scorer, but all around game. Yeah, I think like Tyus a starting point guard in the league to me. Not to say Monte ain't, but
hey, I did a workout on Monte, man, and I ain't never played against Tyus, so I can't really speak on it. But have you ever played against somebody that you really like playing so hard? And it's like you so close to taking the ball, but you not.
Yeah.
It's like they struggling, but they still figure out. That's exactly how he was. I was playing when I'm talking about I was like blood in the water. Like I'm talking about I was really trying to take his ball, but he was just even if it was like a little he'd lose it, he'd get it back, throw a pass, get it off, And to me, those type of players are so hard to guard, bro, because it's so tiring when you don't get that stop and you put in all that effort and they still make something happen. That's why I said that I ain't never played against Tyus Jones.
I hear you. That's why I feel like Tyus does really well. Like you're not gonna speed him up. You're not gonna take him out of his comfort zone. Like he's born in like his comfort zone is wherever he want to be at that moment. Like and he not straying from that.
I feel that. I feel that.
Yo, I used to talk with the homies, man, about Darren Collison back in the day, and we were saying how Darren, like, if you looked at his numbers like years ago, like he was really efficient. He's scoring the ball, he's passing the ball, he's a great player, he's quick, he defends, he does everything, but his name wasn't big enough to just be your starting point guard, and just get behind that, And I feel like there are certain players like a Tyus Jones that may have the talent to be a starting point guard in the league, but at the end of the day, like it's also I feel like there's a business side of it, and probably nobody's gonna come out and speak to it, but people want those names, what I mean, on the roster, in the starting lineup, and things like that. It all speaks to the product you're putting on the floor.
If you put Tyus on Phoenix right now, and and KD gives you a good 3 years, like you looking at, I think generally looking at a type of career like he gonna be a Hall of Famer. Like I think they gonna win so much. Mm-hmm. Like just because they gonna win, he like how Draymond is with the Golden State. I think like he's just the type of dude. If you give him a perfect fit like that, it's just gonna be crazy. Yeah, and like Phoenix, you got him getting the ball to KD and D Book, making all the right decisions. Like
Book,
oh my God.
You said Ty's gonna be a Hall of Famer.
No. I said if you put him in that situation, calm down. You gotta listen, man.
Yo,
listen.
We all got friends.
Your headphone. Hey, it's still early though. We never know. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, man. I was just trying to follow you.
Your headphones broke.
I was just following the course of action and the sentences you was putting
you ain't
together.
Get the pod pack, man.
You said you put him in Phoenix with KD, he's going to be a Hall of Famer.
I said if you put him in that situation, I think he could be. With D Book and KD,
Tyus,
bro. what do you? People were saying the same thing about Draymond. Like before Draymond went to, like, if Draymond wasn't with Steph, I'm saying he's that profile of player where it's like if you put him around guys that are great, he gonna elevate those guys to another stratosphere, like Draymond. What?
So you saying he could be like the
Like you
Rondo or
with
the
your
big
mama?
three of the
Exactly.
Celtics?
We'll never know.
That ain't true.
Yo, P.
That ain't true.
Yo, P. Yo, I had a question back on the defensive topic. I remember I had probably the best defender I played with and seen was Preston Knowles back in the day, man. His thing was like, it wasn't so much in the passing lanes. He used to just rip people. And I remember once, because in practice he used to always, knock the ball loose from me and stuff. And I remember I was sitting down talking to him like, yo, bro, like, how do you rip guys so often? And he's like, bro, like, I listen to the dribbles. He's like, every time the ball hits the floor, he's like, there's a short amount of time that the ball's loose. It's not in his hand. So he's like, I'm just listening, like, boom, 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 boom. Then I reach. And then I was just like, yo, like, and it made sense to me because I was like, there's no way that he's getting all these steals and he's ripping guys without it being some type of system. And like,
that's
he used
crazy.
to be like, he used to get super close. Like, he wouldn't put his arms out. He put his arms back and he'd be quick. And he'd be like looking around and then he would just reach and steal the ball. But like, as an offensive player, you thinking he's comfortable because his arms ain't out. You ain't feeling that pressure. But was there anything like, is there any type of skill or kind of like a system or anything that you think about on defense, or is it just instinct for you?
It's a little bit of both, man. It depends. Like, so this how I decide if I'm gonna gamble on this person throughout the game. If I just do like just a simple jab at him, and he like already like, I got him. You know what I'm saying? Like, I control what he do now, because now if it just took me a little jab just to get you to, like, you know what I'm saying? Just now, I ain't just saying that because there's some players that really just, if you jab at them, they'll just do something quick and just like, all right, chill out. But you feel when somebody is kind of like already shooken up already. So when I feel any fear or like any like hesitation, I'm on you the rest of the game. It's certain players that you get, like, you can't do that type of stuff to, like, overly pressure. You got to just smartly play them. And those the elites, like the elite guards, because they're gonna pick that right away. And I pick my battles and stuff where I really be like, oh yeah, I'm about to grin in. I'm gonna still play good defense, but I guess it's just like a feel. I get a feel for that person. You know what I mean? It could be even. I don't play good defense against some elite guard. If they having a bad day that day and I feel like I got them, I'm gonna play hard. It's just a feel. You know what I'm saying? But that jab is really like, if I jab at them and they like jump, that's when I really like feel like I got them for sure. But that what you just told me, I'm gonna listen now. I'm gonna listen to the dribbles. That's interesting.
I'm telling you, Preston was.
That's interesting for real.
Hey, you talk about he from Kentucky, little country boy. He didn't drink no water. He drank soda on the sideline.
What?
Y'all there?
Yeah, he built different.
Oh, there we go. We back. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, nah, he was different though. He was a different dude.
That's what's up.
But listen, man, we're going to jump into one of our last segments. We got 2 left for you before we let you get up out of here, man. We ain't trying to keep you all day. We opened up with talking about African basketball, man. And so we're going to jump into our culture section. For, if you didn't notice, Afro beats, specifically Nigerian artists, were running All-Star Weekend, man. So we got to know, this is for the people, is when the NBA first started, obviously it was hip hop. You had the Curtis Blows, you had this is taking it way back. That really went hand in hand. The music that went hand in hand with the game. So I guess now 2 questions: is Afro beats the new trendsetter and the music that crosses over with the NBA, and also is this the worst era of hip hop? And is hip hop too vulgar for the
NBA? Man, Afro beats, man. You got to think about it. Some of the most banging songs that you hear at little kickbacks and stuff are Afro beats. So you can pretty much say that, man. You got Burna Boy, you got Tim's, like, they got some great artists. I definitely think that Afro beats is what you just said about the NBA. Yes.
It's
But
it's
hip
some
hop
playing
is
it's some
dead.
playing in hip hop. You think it's some playing in hip hop?
For sure. For the moment, I think so because like I feel I feel like you got those ones in hip hop that's gonna always be those
Mm,
guys. But like Afro beats, man, it's just a different vibe. You know what I'm saying? So right now, I definitely say Afro beats got it for
mm,
now. I don't know for how long, but for now.
I mean, I feel like too, Afro beats. I think there's two things to it. I think hip hop is extremely vulgar now. I think, and I think too, Afro beats is they make a lot more feel good music.
mm.
You know what I mean? As opposed to like hip hop, there's not a whole lot of like feel good music these days. It's more
Nah,
leaning on the side of vulgarity. And then two, I think that whatever is vulgar in Afro beats, a lot of times you don't understand everything. You don't understand all the
Mm.
words. You know what I'm saying? So
just to
now,
feel.
yeah, it's just a feel for a lot of times.
Yeah,
If you don't know that dialect. So I think that it's also so that makes it a little easier for corporate entities to like, okay, like yeah, we could play this at our function and whatnot. But I just thought the
yeah.
timing was weird to have a Afro beats at the All Star game in Utah.
Man,
Like
that's what stuck out to me. I was like, this is
that
definitely a
was a
message.
little
Like, this is definitely a
like
message.
yeah, I really wanted that to happen
This
today.
is a
Ooh,
message.
I didn't
and
even peep
and was
that.
was the NBA is so calculated, man. Like beyond, like we hoopers. And the older I get, and the older we get, like it becomes more apparent the things that the NBA does, like the little moves that they make. And honestly, it really has me thinking, like, damn, was that shit fixed? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, just looking back, man. Like, obviously, I'm not saying that they're fixing games or anything like that. But the NBA is extremely calculated entity. It's a part. It's embedded in the American fabric. So to have three Nigerian artists, like you said, in Utah was absolutely eye opening.
There's an international agenda in the
Yeah,
NBA, bro. From the players to the music. There's a there's just definitely an NBA or an international agenda, and I think it's dope. I really think it's dope, but you know, they expanding the game globally.
nah, for
How
real. I definitely agree with
are,
that.
are Americans going to be able to say that the NBA is still ours, especially American, or especially African Americans? Are we going to be able? Is there ever going to come a time where we're going to say the NBA is no longer ours?
Nah, I mean, as long as you the majority.
Man, they can't have EuroLeague and the NBA now. Now, one of them got to be ours. Come on, you feel me? One of them got to be ours. You know how that go. We be seeing what's going on in EuroLeague last year. In my opinion, what MVP to me personally, not taking away from Big Fella, but me personally being around Mike James, having him did what he did with Monaco first year team, almost make it to the Final Four. I don't understand how that he didn't get MVP. That's my opinion. You know, everybody got their own opinion, but I really thought Mike deserved to win it last year.
Yo, what you think? What you think makes Mike James special that you haven't seen with any other player?
His ability to like just, bro, when Mike is in the zone, bro, he can really take over a game by himself. You know what I'm saying? Like I done seen Mike do some like we play against Pana here. Like bro, literally destroyed them. Like I'm talking about, like it had to be like the end of the third, beginning of the fourth. Bro, he shot a three from like I want to say like right in front of their bench, but like it was like almost back. It was crazy. I'm like, bro, the ability that Mike, it's kind of hard to. Like, I used to just look at Mike like, damn, how did this dude just do this? You know what I'm saying? And like Mike a cool dude, but he got a little grit to him. You know what I'm saying? And when he might want to play and he come to play, dude is amazing. Like for real. Like I done been around some good players, but that dude, he's definitely different. He's different for real.
No doubt about that. He done proved that time and time again. He's the American EuroLeague MVP for sure, man. No matter what anybody say, for real. But
Yeah.
I mean, now I feel like they trying to push for him to win it this year, but like I'm gonna just be real, bro. From Olympiacos, damn, that got
Yeah.
that shit sold
Uh,
right now already.
yeah,
But
no.
last year, I think Mike should have got it for sure. That's my opinion.
yeah,
And I ain't just saying that because he was my teammate, but
Nah,
to
what
do what
y'all
he
did was
did, and
special. Yeah, nah, he had a special
It really
season
was.
too.
It really was.
I really feel like he should have won MVP. But you know,
Nah, it was.
what y'all think?
I think he should have won it last year for sure.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
last year, right?
Yeah, I mean he was up there in assists, points. Like y'all was
PR,
winning.
all that. Yeah,
Yeah, PR. Like nobody expected Monaco to be anywhere.
I was
You know
gonna
what I'm
say
saying? Come playoff time.
the timing coming from
Like
that's
Cheska
what I'm
and doing
saying.
all that, like the way things were played out at Cheska and Milan, whatever the prior years, like to go over there and do that, like if it was if it was the NBA, like the narrative behind that, like if EuroLeague was really telling stories like that, then for sure, that's one of the craziest stories.
Mike
Yeah,
should
no
have won it
question,
for sure.
no question. But
Yeah,
yeah, nah. But we're gonna step into the last segment. Paycheck, rain check. Somebody's paycheck is taking a rain check. This one's it's a little late, overdue,
uh-oh.
but you know, it's dope. And so the focus, we got two players today we focusing on today. Trent Frazier and Deron Russell. Both of them got bought out of their contracts, and they upgraded their situations this year. Trent Frazier was at F&P, and Deron Russell, he was over there at Eagle Kale, right? It was one of those things in the IBA League. But
Yeah, yeah.
both of them set damn near IBA League records this year. They both had games over 40 points. It looked like at one point it just looked like these guys were just taking
It was
turns,
going back and forth.
setting
Yeah,
records and whatnot. So
yeah.
the question of the day is that really what it takes to get bought out this year, or what do you guys think it takes to get bought out of your contract this year? And another thing, shout out to them for doing it, you know, at such a young
big
age.
facts.
For sure.
But yeah, what do you guys think it takes to get bought out of your contract and elevate up in Europe?
You could take it. I'll
You
pick
the
up after
guest.
you,
You
JT.
always lead off, my boy.
All right, cool. Well, I feel like because I was like my second year I was in a situation where they wanted to buy my contract out in the middle of the season. I feel like in those situations it's about consistency. You know, there's two things. One, consistency. Two, what you do against the low level teams and the high level teams. And three, like just to be able to just hold your own. Like I feel like you just know who, you know what I'm saying? Like just you just kind of know who can kind of hold their own. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like both of them two little dudes, I feel like you could have put them anywhere in like Champions League, all that Euro Cup, Europe, whatever. And I feel like they would have thrived just because like they can hold their own. You know what I'm saying? They showed it what they can do. They showed it on a consistent basis. Like you said, they was doing it for like 2 months straight with it. Oh, he go his name Fats. They go Lil Fats. He just did 40 ball. Okay, Trent just followed up with 30 and 10. And Fats just dropped 50. You know, it was just consistently. So I feel like if you could just show what you could do consistently, I feel like that's a great start to getting bought out.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I think that hits it right on the head. I think as far as doing what you can control, that's about all you can
Yeah.
do is just being consistent, killing consistently. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I think there's an element that goes into it. We had Reese Rice on here, and you know he talked about his situation in Barcelona and how he was going to go back to Maccabi and then go to, and then he ended up going to China, and his coach from Bayern just got signed like 2 weeks after he went to China. So one thing that you can't control is the timing aspect. And I think that's, you know, and
Yeah.
it's a small window of getting bought out in Europe where guys are getting cut, or, you know, it's in late October, early November, and then after the holidays in January, February for real. And like you
Yeah.
gotta be killing. And I don't even, the consistency is big, but it's also like if you can kill in those windows, like the December window, and then really, and then something opens up. So I think like, and then something opens up. Like there is a very, it's
Ooh.
not like the NBA where it's like, you know, well, I guess the NBA has a buyout market for sure, but you know, you have a very small window. The NBA, you don't even really got to be killing. You could be sitting out from a time period from a year ago, and someone's like, "Oh, we know what he could do. Come on,
Yeah.
like, and we'll get him on the vet minimum." There is a very, very small window in
Yeah.
Europe where it's like, all right, you know, these things have to line up, and the stars kind of have to align, in a sense.
For sure. Nah, that's real. Like you said, shout out to both of them. They both some little killers. You know, I've been following Trent because he was at
Hmm.
Illinois. Um, just been like you know they both some dogs. So I'm just wishing the best for both of them.
I think for both situations, it was unique that they came from the same league. But I think in
Yeah,
general, I think you have to be the best at something in your league. Head over heels. You know what I mean? I think that's like the main way to kind of get bought out. And then
yeah,
obviously timing is probably the biggest factor. But you gotta display an extreme talent that a league that's in a better situation is willing to just overpay for and pay the buyout. But yeah, I think
no, that's real.
No doubt. No doubt, man. Hey, P. Lee, that's all we got for you, man. No, we appreciate you coming on, man. We appreciate you coming on. Big shout out to you for what you've done so far in your career. Continue to shine. Continue to go upwards, man. Yeah, you 27. Hopefully you got about 10, 11 of them things left.
Man, I'm praying, man, Lord willing.
Hey, but y'all,
Man,
go ahead, finish up.
I was just about to say I appreciate y'all for having me, man. This was fun, bro. Like just have open talk about basketball, like this dope. Like I really
Man,
appreciate that.
definitely. We're gonna have to have you back on the show as we love having y'all on as guests and getting y'all story, man. But this is the Role Player Podcast,
sure.
man. Again, if y'all are listening, be sure to go ahead and check us out anywhere you get your podcasts on. That is Spotify or Apple. Be sure to follow along on all social media: YouTube, TikTok, IG, or Twitter with the handle @Role Player Media, or on the Swish Cultures IG page or YouTube page, man. I am Jordan Taylor. That is Anthony Goods for my guy P. Lee. We'll check y'all out next time, man. Appreciate y'all listening.
Yes, sir.